So this is my family's Iron Man costume. We named him Manfred Quinn, and we affectionately call him Manny. Raise your hand if you know what that reference is from. So this costume was actually made by my brother a while before I started doing costume tutorials. And since nobody really wants to make this guy again, this is going to be more of an explanation than an actual tutorial. But several of you have asked about it, so I'll film kind of an explanation as to how it was made. This costume took several months to build, so this is not one of those ones that you're just going to put together in a week. It definitely took several months to build, and until you get used to getting into it, it takes quite a while to put it on. I think it took like 2 hours to get our cousin into this the first time. We've got it down to about 15 minutes or so, but the first time it definitely takes a long time to put on. And again, it takes a long time to make, so make sure you got plenty of time ahead of time before you start making this costume. So the entire Iron Man costume is made out of foam. The thicker pieces, like these, are made out of EVA foam. That's that thick gray stuff, like the floor mats that they sell in places like Lowe's. And then, like the helmet was made out of the thinner craft foam. You can see it's a lot thinner there. And then here, of course, is the hole where the arc reactor goes in. So to make the costume, he used Pepakura patterns, and I'll put the links to those in the description box below this video. But he used the Pepakura patterns, and he cut all the pieces out, or he printed all the pieces out onto pieces of cardstock, and then he cut the tabs off, because you only use those if you're actually making stuff out of cardstock. So he cut the Pepakura tabs off, and then transferred all those, used those cardstock pieces as templates onto foam, and he cut all the pieces out of foam, and then he hot glued everything together. Here you can see where some of the lines where they connect are. This costume is several years old now, so it's seen a lot of wear and tear, so you can see where the cracks are starting to come apart a bit on it now. But basically, he glued all the pieces together, and then he coated everything with several coats of glue. And what that does is it hardens it up so that it's not soft like foam anymore. And then once he had those, he coated all the pieces with several coats of plasti dip. And then he sprayed everything with some coats of enamel. He used 3 coats of enamel. And then finally he added the paint. So he used the red paint, and then of course the gold paint for the details. So the legs were all made out of that thick EVA gray foam. You can see they go all the way up. There's the lower part, and then the upper part is also made from the thick EVA foam. All the notches and everything, he carved those out with a Dremel before he painted everything. So you'll carve those out before you do any of the glue coats or the enamel or the painting. Before you do any of that, you'll carve out all the notches. So the CAD piece was also the thick EVA foam. The torso piece was also the thick EVA foam. You can actually see it pretty well here. The chest piece was the thick EVA foam. The helmet was that thin 3mm craft foam. The little shoulder thing here and all the way down the arms, both arms, were the thin 3mm craft foam as well. But so most of it is the thick gray EVA foam, but the helmet and the arms are the 3mm craft foam. So the legs are in 2 pieces. There's an upper piece, and then there's a lower piece. And so the upper piece is one solid piece after you finish gluing everything together, and the lower piece is one solid piece where you glued everything together. And then in order to connect the 2 pieces of the legs, he took these little screws and he pushed them through both the bottom layer, the little notch on the bottom layer, and then straight through the top layer, and that allows the leg to move. I can't really move it now because it's on the mannequin on the inside, so that doesn't bend, but when someone is wearing it, it allows you to walk comfortably. So you put, a screw on each side of the leg so that it can move and bend. So then once the 2 halves of the legs are connected by the screws, they're pretty much free hanging. They're not connected to the CAD piece. They hang free except for over on the side here. There's a piece of strap with a buckle on it. The top of the strap is glued to the inside of the cod piece, and the bottom of the strap, the other strap, is glued to the inside of the top of the leg. And then of course there's the buckle, and it just clicks out and clicks together when you put the legs on, and that holds the leg to the cod piece. So the cod piece itself is all one piece. It goes, you know, right up over the waist. You slip it right over your waist like a belt. And then on the inside, just like the legs, there is a buckle with a piece of strap, either end glued, one part to the torso part and one part to the waist belt. And then you just snap that together. And there's one on the front side, and then flipping it around to the back side, there's also a buckle. Can't really see it because it's clicked together right now, but this is the back side of the waist piece and the torso, and there's a buckle right on the inside there that connects the two pieces together. And this is the back side of the torso piece, and there's a buckle on the inside of that, which connects to the buckle on the inside of the actual back part of it. The buckle just goes up and connects the two. It's not connected right now because the mannequin is actually bigger than the costume. The costume is made for somebody smaller, and the mannequin was made to fit my brother. So the costume doesn't quite fit on the mannequin, but if it did, this piece would be buckled into the buckle on the inside of the back piece. The waist buckles to the back. And so the waist piece then connects to the chest piece with another buckle on the inside there. You can see it with the strap glued, top of the strap glued to the chest, the bottom of the strap glued to the torso piece, and then the buckle just pops the two together. The actual torso piece itself has a nice little bit of Velcro, so it opens up so you can get it around your torso, and then you just Velcro that back together. And then of course lock all the pieces in. And I think most of you watching this have probably already seen my arc reactor tutorial. If not, that will be popping up. The link to that will be popping up at the end of this video. But that's where the arc reactor goes, right in that hole. The hole was provided by the Pepakura patterns that he made the chest out of, so if you follow the patterns, you'll have a hole in there that you can make an arc reactor for. So the chest piece itself is, it's a solid piece. It goes around, except for on the one side, it has Velcro. Has Velcro so that it can just Velcro back onto itself. Velcro's under the arm there, so you don't really see where the Velcro goes. That's the only piece of Velcro on it. The other side is completely solid. So here it is from the back side. You can see where that Velcro is a little better. It just Velcros up to this piece here, so you can put it on and get it to stay in place. And then of course you lock in all your buckles to the lower pieces. And so as long as we're on the back side, the arms are in several different pieces. There's the shoulder piece, the upper arm, the elbow piece, and the lower arm. The lower arm is connected, well, the lower arm and the upper arm are connected by the elbow piece, much the same way as the legs, with the little screw that goes through all three pieces, and that allows the elbow to bend when you're wearing it. Here's the other side, the screw with the other side. And again, the screw goes through all three pieces. It goes through the notch on the bottom, the notch on the elbow piece, and the notch on the top piece. And then the top piece, I think I can really show it here. Just barely. I'm not sure if you can see that or not on the camera, but the top piece of the arm has another of those straps and buckles that connects it to the shoulder piece. Just on the outside of the arm there, so the top of the strap is glued to the inside of the shoulder piece, the bottom of the strap is glued to the inner side of the top piece of the arm, and then the buckle connects them together. And of course this is on the outside edge of the arm as opposed to the inside, because you wouldn't be able to buckle it very well there, so it's on the outside part of the arm. So then back on the front side you can see that the arm is pretty much loosely hanging with the exception of that hidden buckle right on the inside there that connects the upper arm to the shoulder. And then the shoulder piece itself is connected to the big chest piece by, there's a buckle right there, you can just barely make it out. Same thing, hidden buckle on the inside with the straps glued to either side, and then the buckle to connect the two together. And then, of course, same thing on the other side. Oh, there we go. You can actually see this one better. The shoulder connects to that piece with the little strap and buckle there. So the chest piece, the edge of that is right here. That's where that stops. And there's another piece on the inside here. And then again, a third piece on the inside of that one. There's a little bit of Velcro there. That's how it goes around the neck. You just slip it around your neck and Velcro it together. And same with this piece. This one, the second piece actually Velcros in the back side. And then for comfort, glued a little bit of felt around the inside because this glue-covered foam can get pretty pointy. And so then, of course, we have the helmet. On the inside, you can see the Velcro pieces there. I'd rather put Velcro because the helmet is actually in two pieces. The helmet is actually in two pieces. There's the top piece right there, and then there's this little piece in the back. And that's how he gets it on his head, because the bottom piece only goes to here. Oops. Bottom piece only goes to here. It's only that wide. So you slip that around the lower back of the head, and then the top part just slips over it, and you connect all those little pieces of Velcro all the way around. And that's how the helmet gets worn. And so then that's basically about it. Again, I'll put all the links for the Pepakura patterns in the video description box, as well as a link to the Pepakura software, which is a free download. So you just print everything out onto cardstock, cut off the little tabs, and then you transfer all the pieces onto either EVA or 3mm craft foam, depending on which pieces you're doing. And then you just hot glue everything together, coat them with glue, a couple coats of enamel, or plasti dip, and then give them all their painting. And if you have any questions, since this is not really a real tutorial, if you have any questions, just post them below and we'll answer them as best we can.